still getting over the veteran DJ, I think. I did start when I was 10. Yes, I liked it to a certain extent. I mean, the single, the reason why I'm playing it as a soul record is it's very, very soulful. The album's got this bossa nova beat going through it the whole way. I find it a bit monotonous, to be honest with you. And it strikes me, although she's got a very nice voice, I can take it probably for one single. And there are 1 or 2 other tracks on it that are very nice. But I think it would probably become a little bit background for me. There isn't enough light and shade in the album. But apart from that, I rather like it. It's a nice sound. And I mean, there's room for it, but I don't know, not quite for me. But I love the single. The single's great.
George? I must admit, there's not that much to add to that. I think that the single is the best thing on the album, definitely. I love her voice. I mean, it's great to get you. I mean, it's so melancholy and it's just so vulnerable that it's a beautiful voice in that way. But for a whole album, it does drag on a bit, you know, and it actually starts to take away from the songs, because individually you can appreciate them a lot better, and they are very good songs, or 4 or 5 on the album anyway. But as an album, it starts to, you know, to wash a bit.
Yeah. But she's become something of a cult figure, though, hasn't she?
Yeah,
with the Marine Girls and with the Style Council and all that. But
yeah. She's becoming a little bit more accessible. I think probably, I don't know, it just seems to be a coincidence they've just signed to WEA, but it does seem a lot more accessible than before. I think it's nowhere near as good as Plain Sailing, which is my favourite track of hers, but still a good album.
Morrissey, I know you know them. Do you approve of their album?
To a large degree I do, because at least half of the album I really like, and I feel that if I can like at least half an album, well, for me personally, that's really quite revolutionary.
Which bits do you like and why?
Well, I did think that Another Bridge is really quite spectacular. I'm still mystified about the single and the success of the single, which I think...
You don't think it's that good?
No, I don't.
Why not?
I think it's perhaps the most least attractive track. I don't know, I can't explain it. It just didn't really strike me that much. So, but obviously I really like them.
I think melodically I think it's the most... I don't know, I think it's most interesting melodically on there.
I thought it was wonderful, the single. I don't like albums, though. I mean,
Ever?
No, I generally don't like albums very much. I want to go on from one particular sound to another. And I find on an album, it's very lucky if you can find 3 or 4 good tracks anyway. But I don't actually like listening to albums very much.
What about this as a sound, though? It's been described as part of a new soft rock, jazz rock.
Bossa nova, isn't it?
It's very old-fashioned in a way, isn't it?
Yeah, I used to play this about 25 years ago in the Bournemouth Pavilion Orchestra. I was in an orchestra then. We were sort of bashing out the bossa nova.
Playing to what sort of audience?
Sort of mayors, civic receptions at the time. Yeah, things like that. But yeah, people were bossa novaing around. But it's not. It's an old sound come back again, really.
Morrissey, do you think it's old-fashioned as such?
Well, it is, but I mean, nearly most music is. I can't think in those terms. I just think, is it good or is it bad? I don't really mind if it could be described as old-fashioned, because if it's appealing, I'll accept it. You know, whether it's just, you know, caveman beating on a drum or whatever. I like it ultimately.
It seems to be very anti-fashion music. I mean, they don't care about their image too much.
Yeah, but that almost becomes an image, and it almost becomes the absolute heart of fashion. So, and I think it will.
I think that's what makes them so fashionable in press at the moment, is the fact that they're very anti-image, and in a way they do care about their image and their fashion, because the music shows that. It is all of a certain type, and it does has that jazz influence. But it justifies it, I think, because the atmosphere is so good.
Thank you. And Everything But the Girls, Eden, will be available next week. Also on release next week, there's a music film that earned a remarkable $25 million in its first week in America. It's called Breakdance. It tells the story of a white dancer who joins a black breakdancing team who perform in Venice Beach, Los Angeles, and appear to me to live in a ghetto furnished by Habitat. The breakdancers